for that name. Would you please? Thank you. Okay. Yes, that's all right. You have to listen to this introduction closely. It'll give you some idea of what Mr. Schickele is about. He is the head of the Department of Musical Pathology at the University of Southern North Dakota at Hoople. He's an authority on the music of P.D.Q. Bach, who is the 21st of Johann Sebastian Bach's 20 children. Would you welcome Professor Peter Schickele?
I'm going to be playing a work by P.D.Q. Bach with the orchestra here, but we didn't plan this, but I would like to do something a little different. You know, a lot of people say that the reason I always play with the orchestra is because I'm not a very good pianist, and if I played alone, everybody would know that. I'd like to play, if I could, I'd just like to play a solo piano piece, a piece that everybody knows. It's Johann Sebastian Bach, the Prelude in C major from the Well-Tempered Clavier. That's better. Formal here. The next work is by Johann Sebastian Bach's son, P.D.Q. Bach. This is an excerpt from a very large, not to say gross work, for piano and orchestra called Variations on an Unusually Simple-Minded Theme.
Professor? Good to see you.
Hello, how do you do?
The audience is a little bit bewildered, Professor.
So am I.
Yes, all right. We'll come back and try to sort that out in just a second, right after this. All right, if you've just joined us, we're going to sort this out, man. Now, Professor, I noticed a little look of puzzlement on the audience's face. Now, apparently, they are not familiar with P.D.Q. Bach as much as you are. I have not been able to find him in any musical dictionaries at all.
No, I know. My research is into P.D.Q. Bach is a very lonely affair.
I bet it is.
I've been kicked out of the AMJ, the American Musicological Junta. They refuse to have anything to do with me. But I must say that the researchers have sort of gained me a certain niche, because if you study Beethoven and Mozart, are hundreds of other people studying those composers,
Right. So
but nobody else is studying
yourself.
P.D.Q. Bach. I really pretty got it to myself.
When did you first discover that there was a P.D.Q. Bach?
Well, I was traveling in Europe, and a very curious thing in the castle called the Lechendachschloss, the castle of the leaking roof in southern Bavaria, I found being used as a strainer in the caretaker's percolator, a manuscript that turned out to be the Sanka Cantata by P.D.Q. Bach. And
so you thought you stumbled on something?
Right. Yeah, and you see, other people's music tended to keep this guy awake, apparently. But P.D.Q. Bach wrote him a piece that wouldn't be a problem with. So ever since then, I've discovered over 75 works by P.D.Q. Bach, and
you mentioned just one or two of them that we might have.
Well, yes, there's a dramatic oratorio called Oedipus Tex.
Oedipus Tex?
Yes, that's a story about a gunslinger who shoots a man who turns out to be his father and marries a lady who turns out to be his mother. That's not the path to happiness.
It's a nasty affair, yeah.
Yeah. And there's also an opera called A Little Nightmare Music that is P.D.Q.'s version of how Mozart died. And there's also a charming little piece called The Fanfare for the Common Cold. I think the musicians will agree that it's very rare to see the indication in music sneezando.
Sneezando?
This piece has that, yeah.
Well, you've discovered a sleeping giant there, I guess.
It's really amazing. As I say, 22 years, 75 pieces, and the bottom of the barrel is nowhere in sight.
And we haven't even touched the good stuff yet.
Right.
Okay, well, next time we'll bring them up to date on that. The audience still going, what?
Right.
We'll take a break. Then we have from Leningrad, the Leningrad Dixieland Jazz Band. I suppose next time you will discover some more manuscripts of P.D.Q. Bach.
I think the chances are very small that I won't.
Oh, I see. You are actually a serious. You studied classical music, didn't you?
Yes, I went to Juilliard, and as a matter of fact, it was at Juilliard that I first started doing these humorous concerts, just for an in-school kind of thing.
Right.
Little did I know that 22 years later.
Got out of hand.
Yeah, right. I thought that when I grew up, I'd stop doing it, but I guess I never grew up.
You know, it's a good way to teach music. Seriously, because a lot of kids, when they go to school, were not musically inclined, find it kind of dull. And I think if you can put some humor into it, the kids will learn a lot more and appreciate it.
It's very interesting. I get people telling me that they sometimes got interested in classical music through P.D.Q. Bach, too, which is pretty strange if you think about it. But a lot of P.D.Q. Bach pieces have these quotes from other classical pieces. He had a talent for manic plagiarism.
Manic plagiarism.
And sometimes people get interested in the pieces that those pieces came from, you know?
Thank you, Peter, for being here. We'll see you tomorrow with all of those people I mentioned.